You know what almost nobody talks about when it comes to divorce. The storm your ex-wife is about to walk into, a mental battlefield she has been pretending doesn't exist. This isn't some feel-good story where she realizes what she lost and comes crawling back. It's deeper than that. It's about what happens when someone trades real life for a fantasy and then has to watch that fantasy crumble right in front of her. Picture this for a moment. Right now, there are men sitting alone in quiet apartments, scrolling through their ex's Instagram. They see her posting quotes about new beginnings and smiling selfies with captions like "healing era." And these men, they're wrecked, convinced she's out there living her best life while they are barely keeping their heads above water. But what's really happening behind those filtered photos and inspiring posts is something darker. She's about to collide with a reality so harsh that her mind will twist itself just to survive the shock. When a woman leaves a marriage, especially one that's lasted for years, she's not just walking away from her husband, she's walking away from an entire mental world that she doesn't even realize she depends on. Think about it. For years, you were her anchor point. Every thought, every plan, every argument, every moment of joy or frustration had you somewhere in the picture. Even when she complained about you to her friends, you were still the center of her emotional orbit. Now she's drifting, trying to convince herself that this new emptiness is freedom, when really it's weightlessness, the kind that makes you dizzy. The pattern after divorce is so predictable, it's almost like a script. It always starts the same way, the honeymoon with herself. It can last a few weeks, sometimes a few months. She wakes up feeling powerful, proud of herself for being brave and independent. She redecorates the house, signs up for a yoga class, maybe downloads a dating app just to see what's out there. Her friends hype her up with compliments. You look amazing, you're glowing, you deserve better. And she drinks it in like medicine. But here's the thing, she's not living in truth. She's living in a story she's telling herself about truth. In her version, she's the hero who escaped boredom, who finally took control of her life. Her phone is buzzing with attention from men she doesn't even know, and it feels like proof that she made the right call. But she doesn't see that what she's feeling isn't to freedom, it is a high. She's mistaking attention for affection, novelty for worth, and flattery for love. Then comes the next phase, the awakening. Though it feels more like a slow, painful unraveling than some grand realization. It starts small. She finally goes on her first real date since the divorce. The guy seems perfect on paper, charming, successful, confident. They have dinner, laugh over a few drinks, everything seems easy. But when the night ends and he leans in to kiss her, she feels something cold run through her. That spark she expected, it's not there. What hits her instead is this sudden awareness. This man doesn't actually care who she is. He doesn't know how she takes her coffee, what scares her at night, or that she double-checks the door before bed. To him, she's just another woman at the end of a long week. That's when the first tiny crack appears, but she can't afford to admit it yet. Admitting it would mean questioning the story she built to justify leaving. So, she does what most people do when denial starts slipping. She doubles down. More dates, more apps, more fun nights out that don't feel so fun anymore. The attention starts to lose its magic. The compliments start to sound the same. It's no longer exciting, it's exhausting. Without realizing it, her brain starts doing something she can't control. Comparing. Every man she meets gets measured against you. Not out loud, not consciously, but it's happening. The charming guy talks over her. The ambitious one, emotionally distant. The funny one drinks too much and flakes on plans. And little by little, she starts to remember how it used to feel to be known. Really known. You weren't perfect, but you were familiar. You were safe. You were home. That's when it hits her, not like a lightning bolt, but like a slow ache that won't go away. For the first time, she starts to wonder if she made a mistake. But instead of sitting with that thought, she tries to drown it out, because accepting it would mean admitting that the freedom she chased might have been nothing more than another kind of prison. Then comes the panic. It doesn't arrive all at once. It builds slowly, creeping in around the 6 to 8 month mark. By now, the thrill is gone. The excitement she once flaunted to everyone online has faded. Her friends have stopped cheering her on. They're tired of the breakup stories and the dating app drama. The nights out don't feel empowering anymore. They feel empty. Her kids, if you have them, are acting out. Their world is upside down, and she's too wrapped up in trying to keep hers from collapsing to notice. Everything she does starts to feel forced. The "I'm doing great" selfies take longer to post. The smiles feel heavy. She's performing happiness, but the act is wearing thin. It's like she's playing a role she no longer believes in. The truth is catching up, and she's running out of places to hide. Some women react by speeding up, filling every moment with distractions. More plans, more people, more noise, anything to avoid sitting still. Others do the opposite. They shut down. They spend entire weekends in bed, scrolling through old photos, replaying memories, wondering when exactly everything went wrong. But underneath both reactions is the same quiet realization. This isn't what she thought it would be. That's when the rewriting begins. The story she told herself about you, about the marriage, starts to shift. The relationship she called miserable doesn't look so terrible anymore. The man she said she couldn't stand starts to seem not so bad. The future she was so sure of now looks blurry. But here's the trap. She can't admit it, not even to herself, because to do that would destroy the image she built, the brave woman who left to find herself. So instead, she builds a new story, one where maybe you've changed, maybe she's changed, maybe things could be different now. It's her way of easing the pain without facing the truth. It lets her wonder about what could have been without saying she made a mistake. It's denial wearing the mask of reflection. Now she starts facing the real world again, and that's when things get brutally honest. The dating world she thought would be full of fresh starts, and good men isn't it what she imagined. It's rough out there. The attention that once felt empowering now feels cheap. The dating apps that gave her dopamine highs at first have turned into emotional landmines. The messages are repetitive, shallow, and sometimes just disgusting. She starts noticing the patterns. The charming guy who seems too good to be true. He's married. The successful one who sweeps her off her feet. He disappears after a week. The funny one who says all the right things. He's seeing 3 other women. And the ones who are genuinely good men. They're taken, busy, or uninterested. She's not at the top of the list anymore. She's competing with women 10 years younger, with no baggage, no kids, and fewer scars. Slowly, she realizes that the world she stepped into doesn't care about her story. It doesn't care that she was brave or strong or independent. It just sees her as another face in the crowd, another profile in the app. The validation she once soaked up now feels meaningless. Every compliment sound copied and pasted. Every connection feels temporary. That's when reality hits. The market value she thought she had was inflated by comfort, by security, by the stability you gave her. Out here, things are different, cold, transactional. The men aren't chasing love, they're chasing distraction. And suddenly, for the first time, she realizes just how rare what she had really was. This is when the loneliness truly settles in. It's not just missing someone. It's the hollow kind of loneliness that follows you everywhere, even in a crowded room. It's the sound of silence after pretending you're fine for too long. It's the moment she realizes she's not the heroine in her story anymore. She's just tired. Then comes the reckoning. It doesn't happen with some big event. It's quieter than that. It sneaks up one night when she's sitting alone in her apartment, maybe after another bad date or another weekend when the kids are with you. The noise stops, the distractions fade, and the silence gets heavy. That's when it finally hits her. What she has done can to be undone. It's the kind of realization that doesn't explode, it sinks. She sees how she traded something real, even if it was imperfect, for something that never truly existed. The fantasy she chased has vanished, and now she's staring at the reality she built with her own hands. The apartment that once felt like freedom now feels like a cage. The peace she thought she wanted now feels like punishment. She starts remembering things differently. The arguments don't seem so bad anymore. The distance she blamed you for now feels like something she helped create. And the life she left behind starts to glow in her memory. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real. You were real. This is when the late-night messages start. The, "Hey, how are you?" texts that show up at midnight. The "remember that time." Messages that sound casual but aren't. Sometimes it's sadness, sometimes anger, sometimes just confusion. But underneath all of it is the same truth. She is drowning in regret and looking for something, anything that feels familiar. She's trying to reach back to the place she burned down, hoping it's still there. But what she does not realize yet is that while she has been lost in her own mess, you've been healing, you've been rebuilding. You're not the same man she left, and the life she's missing doesn't exist anymore, at least not the way she remembers it. Around this time, everything starts closing in. The world that once seemed full of new chances now feels small and cold. Her friends, the same ones who cheered her on when she left, have quietly drifted away. The married ones don't invite her out anymore. She makes them uneasy. They don't say it out loud, but she's a reminder that their marriages could end too. And their husbands look at her differently now, which only adds to the quiet distance. Her single friends, they've become competitors. They're all fishing in the same pond, and the water isn't deep. Conversations turn into comparisons. Who's getting more attention? Who's going on more dates? Who's being ghosted less? The sisterhood that once lifted her up now feels fake. Nobody's cheering anymore. Everyone's just trying to survive. And in that isolation, it hits her. You weren't just her husband. You were her person. The one she called when the car broke down, when she got good news, when she couldn't sleep. The one who knew what she liked to eat, how she took her coffee, what shows made her laugh. She used to have a partner in everything, and now she's facing the world alone. Even small things start to sting. Setting the table for one, fixing something around the house and realizing no one's there to help. Lying in bed, the silence so loud she has to fall asleep with the TV on just to fill it. It's not empowerment anymore. It's emptiness. The friends who said, "You'll be fine," are nowhere around when she breaks down crying in the car. The ones who said, "You deserve better," aren't there when she realizes better never came. And that's when she starts to understand that freedom isn't always peace. Sometimes it's just loneliness dressed up to look strong. Around this point, she starts facing herself. Not the version she shows the world, but the one staring back in the mirror when the makeup's off and the noise is gone. That's when the truth starts whispering, and it's not kind. She realizes she doesn't even know who she is anymore. For years, she was a wife, a partner, part of a team. Now she is just her, and she is not sure she likes the person she sees. She thought leaving would help her find herself. But instead, she feels like she left herself somewhere back in that house, in the middle of a life she convinced herself wasn't enough. Every choice she makes now feels uncertain. Every plan feels temporary. There's no safety net, no soft place to land. And for the first time, she feels small in a world that once felt full of possibilities. The financial part hits her next. Things cost more than she remembered. Life feels heavier when you're paying for it alone. She might still look put together on the outside, new hair, new wardrobe, a forced smile, but it's just armor. Behind it is the pressure, the exhaustion, the quiet panic that never really goes away. At night, when she lies in bed, the memories creep back. Not just the good ones, but the small, ordinary ones. The sound of you making coffee, your laugh from the other room, your hand reaching for hers without thinking. She used to take those moments for granted. Now, they haunt her. It's around this stage that she starts asking questions she never thought she'd ask. Did she really need to leave? Was she actually unhappy? Or just restless? Did she confuse comfort for boredom, peace for dullness, love for routine? These questions don't go away. They echo quietly in her mind until she learns to live with them. By now, a couple of years might have passed. On the outside, she looks fine. She's learned how to play the part again. Smiles for pictures, small talk at work, polite laughter with friends. But inside, she's tired. The kind of tired that sits deep in the bones. The pretending has worn her down. She's seen what's out there, she's seen what she gave up, and she knows, even if she never says it, that it's never going to be the same again. Every once in a while, something small cracks her open. Maybe the kids tell her how much fun they had with you. Maybe she sees you with someone new, happy, steady, calm. Or maybe it's just a random moment, hearing a song, smelling a cologne, passing by the restaurant you used to love. And it hits her. You were never the problem. The life she left wasn't the prison she thought it was. It was just ordinary. And ordinary didn't feel like enough back then. Now she would give anything for ordinary. It's a cruel twist, watching the man she thought wasn't enough become the man she always wanted, just without her. Seeing the home she helped build feel warmer in someone else's hands. Realizing that what she called boredom was actually peace. What she called control was actually care. What she called limitation was love. She won't admit it, not to her friends, not even to herself. But deep down she knows. She made the choice, she walked away, and now she has to live with the echo of that decision every single day. Some nights she still reaches for her phone, typing a message she'll never send. Sometimes she wonders what would happen if she said, "I was wrong." But pride is a heavy chain, and it keeps her quiet. So she scrolls through your pictures instead, your new life, your new calm, and she feels that familiar ache, the one that whispers, "It could have been me." Time keeps moving, and she learns to live with it. Not happily, not proudly, just quietly. The noise around her has faded. No more advice from friends, no more new beginnings to chase. Just days that blend into each other, each one a little heavier than the last. The freedom she fought for feels ordinary now. The independence she once bragged about feels lonely. She stopped trying to find someone new. The apps are deleted, the effort's gone. She tells herself she's content, that she's focusing on herself. But that's not the truth. The truth is, she's tired of starting over, tired of pretending that something out there can replace what she had. Because nothing has. She still sees you sometimes, maybe at a drop-off, maybe by chance somewhere. You look different now, lighter, at peace. She can tell you've moved on, and there's something in your eyes she hasn't seen in years. Calm. And in that moment, she finally understands the full cost of her decision. She didn't just lose a husband. She lost the only person who ever really knew her. There's no big breakdown, no dramatic confession, just quiet acceptance. The kind that comes late at night when she turns off the light and the silence reminds her what she gave up. She tells herself she's okay, but she knows she'll never really be the same again. And somewhere deep down, she finally admits the truth. Not out loud, but to herself. She didn't leave because she wasn't loved. She left because she couldn't see it. And now she'll spend the rest of her life trying not to remember what it felt like when love was still right in front of her.